Alright guys, the All Blacks have released their teams, so now both England and the All Black teams are out for this weekend, and it is going to be a cracker of a match. This is definitely the game of the weekend. This is the game I'm excited to watch the most. As a South African fan, this is the game I'm looking forward to. If only this game was showing this weekend, I'd be happy, because wow, it is a massive game. Obviously, they're going for a front row of Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, and Fletcher Newell, which is pretty much what we thought they would choose. Scott Barrett back, which is big for them. Fabian Holland at the other lock, massive. Josh Lord did have a massive game last week, but Scott Barrett in there as a leader, a lot of experience. That's massive for a game like this. Simon Parker, Artie Savia, and Peter Lakai at number 8. Very good loose trio. No Wallace Atiti though in the starting lineup. He will be on the bench making a massive impact. I thought he had quite a solid game last week against Scotland, but obviously they're looking for a massive second half from some of their bench players. Cam Roygaard, Beauden Barrett 9 and 10, stock standard, solid. Been playing together for a while now, building that combination. The All Blacks are happy with them. Cam Roygaard is one of the best scrum offs in the world, and Beauden Barrett's been solid this year. Obviously, from how he used to play back in 2015 till now, he's changed completely as a player. He still has that speed, but he maybe uses his kicking game a bit more nowadays, and he's been very creative with it lately. So it's going to be interesting to see how Freddie Stewart and them handle his kicking game and the All Blacks kicking game, because they actually are quite creative with their kicking game. They don't do the generic up and unders and box kicks all the time that other teams do. They're very creative with little chip kicks and just kicks that you're not normally used to as a back three. Leicester Fainga'anuku on the left wing is a very interesting selection. I thought Leicester Fainga'anuku has been the difference maker for the All Blacks. Obviously no Caleb Clark, so that's obviously a massive choice for them to put Leicester Fainga'anuku on the left wing. Quinn Tupaia and Billy Proctor make up the centres. Very solid centre pairing. Quinn Tupaia has really cemented his place in that number 12 jersey recently. His form has been incredible, and he's made some massive impacts off the bench in some of the games they played, especially against Australia and against Scotland as well, and against Ireland. So he's been solid, he's been massive. But yeah, Leicester Fainga'anuku not playing in the centres is quite a big call for them. I thought maybe they would put someone else on the left wing, but he is still a great player. A very good player. That's why I thought he might be in the centres. Leroy Carter on the other wing, that's what we thought they would choose. He's been very good, a little pocket rocket. His snipes from the base have been very potent for the All Blacks. And then obviously the skillful, the magnificent Will Jordan at fullback. He is world class. He's one of the best fullbacks in the world, if not the best. And he'll be looking to continue that form against England this weekend. Looking at the starting lineup for the All Blacks, it's a very solid team. They're going to make it a very hard day for England out there. It's going to be a very tough day for England to win with this team. It's a very good team. And looking at the bench, you have Takiyaho, Tamati Williams, and Paisili Tosi on the bench. That is a very good front row on the bench, especially Tamati Williams and Takiyaho, who I rate very highly. Of course, people who've been watching the last few videos know that I think Asafo Amua is probably one of the best hookers in the world. So when he comes back from injury, that'll be massive for the All Blacks. And I think looking into the future with Takiyaho and Asafo Amua, those two will make a massive, incredible 1-2 punch for the All Blacks going forward. Tamati Williams has been world class, and he's a great scrummager, and I just like his attitude on the field. He just wants it always, and it's great. Josh Lord on the bench, the reserve lock. Obviously he'll be disappointed with that, but he had a great game against Scotland last weekend, obviously creating that first try for Cam Roygaard, so that's going to be very interesting. Wallace Atiti, I've spoken about him, he's world class. I think he was the young player of the year or the breakthrough player of the year last year, and he's incredible. Cortez Ratima, Anton Leonard-Brown, and Damian McKenzie on the bench. Ratima, we knew he was going to play. He's normally been the second choice to Cam Roygaard this year. Anton Leonard-Brown being back in the mix is interesting. I mean, he's a very experienced player. He's played in some big games, some big tournaments. He's played in a few World Cups. I mean, he's a very good player, and he knows how to win big games. He's a big game player, and he's very good with Beauden Barrett on the field. So it's going to be good to see those two together. They have quite a good cohesion, and obviously Damian McKenzie, the impact he made last week, being man of the match, not even playing a full game, is incredible. So he's going to make a massive impact for the All Blacks this weekend. Side for England, they've gone with Finn Baxter, Jamie George, and Joe Hayes, which is a very solid front row. Obviously, Cowan Dickey, Ellis Genge, and Will Stewart on the bench, which I think is actually a stronger front row. Obviously, looking to make a big impact off the bench. That's probably why the All Blacks played guys like Wallace Atiti from the bench to try and make a big impact. Tamati Williams, Takiyaho, because they're going to have to, because this is a very, very good England bench with Chandler Cunningham South, Tom Curry, Henry Pollock, Ben Spencer, and Marcus Smith. That is a very strong bench for England, and I'm extremely excited to see that second half with both benches cleared. It's going to be a cracker. Obviously in the back line, Alex Mitchell, George Ford, very stock standard combination there. Emmanuel Faye-Waboso, one of the best wings in world rugby, going up against Leroy Carter. That's going to be an interesting one. If I had to put my money on one, I would choose Emmanuel Faye-Waboso. Definitely. I think he is one of the world's best wingers, and I think it's going to be a great game for those two going up against each other. If I had to choose a combined 15, I would probably go with Ethan de Groot at 1, Cody Taylor at 2. At 3, I'd probably go for Joe Hayes over Fletcher Newell. Then I'd go Scott Barrett at 4, Mario Itoje at 5 as the 2 locks. Then I'd probably go, if I had to create my own loose trio, it would probably be Ben Earl. Then it would be Artie Savia and Sam Underhill in the back row. Obviously, Savia, Ben Earl, Sam Underhill, they can play wherever. At number 9, I'd go Roygaard. Number 10, I would go Bowden Barrett over George Ford. At number 12, currently, I would go for Quinn Tupaia over Fraser Dingwall. I would. Then number 13, I would choose Ollie Lawrence over Billy Proctor, just for now. Then on the wings, I would have Lester Fine-Ganuku on the one wing and Emmanuel Faye-Waboso on the other. And then at fullback, I would choose Will Jordan over Freddie Stewart. I know some England fans will come at me for that because they love Freddie Stewart. I love Freddie Stewart. I think he's an incredible player, but I just think Will Jordan is world class. Then if I had to choose a bench between those two teams, I'm probably going Luke Cowan-Dickie over Takiyaho just because he's a British Irish Lion. He's played some massive games. He's a great player. Then I would probably choose Ellis Genge over Tamati Williams, and then I would probably choose Will Stewart over Tosi. So I think England's definitely got the better of All Blacks there in the bench front row. Obviously, it could change on the day. I mean, the All Blacks have such a good bench on the front row on the bench. It's going to be very interesting to see how they match up. Then obviously for the England bench, I would go Chandler Cunningham South over Josh Lord, and I would go Tom Curry over Wallace Atiti. But maybe on recent form, I'd go Wallace Atiti. But I think for that one, it's very, very close, very close. Now, for the scrum halves of the bench, I would go Ben Spencer over Cortez Ratima. Nothing against Cortez Ratima, I just think Ben Spencer is world class. Then obviously, All Blacks going with a 5-3 split and England going with a 6-2 split. So I would try fit Henry Pollock in there. And then my other 23 jersey choice would be Damien McKenzie if I had to choose a combined team. So that's kind of what I would choose if it was a combined team. It's very evenly matched. I'm not really sure how many of each I put in, but it would be very evenly matched. And that's how I think the game is going to be on Saturday. I think it's going to be a very evenly matched game. I think it's going to be an absolute titanic battle at Twickenham, and I can't wait to see what happens. If I had to make a prediction, I would say that could England get it done this time? Could they get it done? If I was a betting man, I would probably this time around put money on England, but I just think that the All Blacks could get it done. They know how to get it done in tough games. They've been there. They know how to do it. I mean, beating Ireland the way they did, beating Scotland the way they did, I just think they're finding their form. They're finding their combinations. And some newer faces, not very new, but newer faces like Lester Fine-Ganuku, Wallace Atiti, Peter Lakai are really, really stepping up their game now. So I just think England are going to have to put a monumental performance in to beat the All Blacks, but the All Blacks can just put in a good performance and possibly beat England. But we don't know. It's all going to happen on Saturday, and I'm going to react to it. I'm going to do some player ratings. I'm going to do a match review and a reaction, and I can't wait. So if I had to do a prediction, I'm going to go very, very chilled with this one. I think I'm going to go All Blacks by 3. All Blacks by 3, or even a draw. No, All Blacks by 3, but I think it's going to be a very, very close game, and it could go either way. I mean, England's got home ground advantage. Twickenham's going to be pumping. I think this is the game of the year for England right now. Before the Six Nations, this is the game they want to be winning right now. They've had a good performance against the Wallabies, a decent performance against Fiji. They're going to be looking to complete their form. They've been really good lately. They've won a few games in a row. The All Blacks are going to want to stamp their authority, because I think if they win this game, then they can really say they've had a very successful end of year tour. Obviously, they're doing the Grand Slam tour, except when they're not playing against France, but for them it's a Grand Slam tour. And if they can win this game, then they've pretty much got it sealed. They just have to beat Wales, but it's going to be a cracker game at Twickenham, and I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to either be a very close game, either way. I think it's going to be a close game either way. It could be a draw, could be 3 points to England or 3 points to New Zealand. I don't know how it's going to go. I think England have a stronger bench, and I know the All Blacks have been struggling with their late second half performances. They have fixed it a bit in recent games, but maybe England could be targeting that late second half performance. If England can just hang in there in the first half, then I think they can actually maybe get it done. But if I had to put money on it, I would probably say the All Blacks by 3. That's my prediction. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. There's going to be plenty of these coming out for all the teams, international rugby, club rugby. We only started the channel last week, so we're just looking to grow, guys. So just please help out if you can. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.